Hi there, I'm Sean Wilmot, and today not only are we going to be looking at a really impressive electric SUV, we're also going to be looking at the brand where it came from. Now the brand is Opel out of Europe, and the SUV itself, that's this one, the Mokka-e, and it's absolutely perfect for getting around the city. The Opel Mokka-e is probably the #1 brand ambassador for Opel as a whole. It represents the bold and pure design motif which Opel is going to be imbuing every single car that comes down in the next 12 months or so. Interestingly, they will likely all be electric vehicles in the first instance, but they will be backed up by a slightly more affordable twin internal combustion engine option available for those who want to go down that road. Core to the Opel, of course, and the front end face is what we see up here. This is basically what Opel has designated the visor, and it pretty much covers everything from the lights to the centerpiece here. That centerpiece, by the way, highlights the bold emblem, which is called the Opel Blitz, and leaves no doubt in anyone's mind as to who this car actually belongs to. That Opel Blitz is nice and clean, and it's in an uncluttered environment, which is exactly what Opel is looking for in all of its vehicles. Flanking the centerpiece, of course, are these two new wing lights. Now, these are very clever. As anybody knows in the automotive industry, LED matrix lights were the last word when it came to vehicle lighting. That was until Opel came along and made the system better. What these are IntelliLux lights, and they basically are a pixelated light form, which means they're anti-glare. They adjust automatically for any driving light condition, which means you're not going to either dazzle oncoming traffic and you're not going to be dazzled by high beam lights reflecting up on reflective surfaces. It's a very, very clever system, and Opel has brought it to market. We're likely to see more of this coming as time goes on. As part of the demonstration of sophistication and elegance that comes out of Europe, Opel has specified two-tone paint for the Opel Mokka. Now, you don't have to have this, but I think it really offsets the vehicle nicely. It just gives you that elegant statement that basically says, hey, I'm individual, look at me. And it does it really, really well. As you might expect of a European vehicle manufacturer, Opel has spent a lot of time and effort designing the suspension for the Opel Mokka, and they've chosen exactly the right tyre and the right tyre size. The Opel Mokka-e runs on Michelin Primacy tyres, and they're an 18-inch with that spectacular alloy wheel design, which says only one thing: Opel. I think it's fantastic how you get the branding of a vehicle completely built into the actual alloy wheel itself. Now, as to the rest of the vehicle, we've basically got a nice compact SUV here, which is absolutely perfect for driving around in the inner city environments where EVs are expected to proliferate. Highlighting the European aspect, we've got this final touch where they've actually taken the logo of the vehicle and its name, and instead of just using an embossed decal or something similar to that, they've actually given you nice raised lettering here, which just adds that element of sophistication just as you'd expect from a Euro. And speaking of being European, it's important to understand exactly where Opel has come from. Opel has been around in one shape, size or form since about 1899. And what they've done with a car for the 21st century like the Opel Mokka-e is just fantastic. Now, as an EV, the power and torque figures don't have to be as huge as they are to actually gain appreciation. In this case, however, we're talking about 100 kilowatts of power and 260 newton-meters of torque, which is nothing to be sneezed at. Also on board is a 7.4 kilowatt-hour charge unit, which assists remarkably with the regenerative braking systems on board. And that's making your dollars go even further when it comes to EV usage. The question, of course, for any EV is, how far can I go with it? Well, the Mokka-e is a city SUV, so it's not really expected to do massive jumps, although it can from, say, Auckland to Whangarei. But you're looking at a range of about 363 kilometres, which doesn't really sound like very much until you understand that the average driver will do about 40 or 50 kilometres in a day. So 363 k's, yeah, you'll be sweet for driving around the city all day long. One other thing that I'd like to touch on is basically the suspension setup of this particular vehicle. Opel's put a lot of research into this, and you've just got to stop and listen to what I can hear at the moment, which is very little. That's basically minimal cabin intrusion of noise, and that comes about through the work that they've done on the suspension. The interior of the Mokka-e reflects the bold and pure design philosophy of the exterior. Inside is an expression of sophistication through simplicity, with the hero of the piece being a combination of 10-inch and 12-inch colour screens, which when combined presents all the information you could ever need on what Opel calls the pure panel. This includes satellite navigation in 3D mode, energy consumption and flow, amongst other bits and pieces. Some of this information can be mirrored across the screens, which is a very handy little feature. As to the rest, Opel has instilled a sporty feel with regards to the heated seats, the aluminium pedals, the carbon fibre-esque trim and a crushed bottom multifunction and heated leather steering wheel. At the same time, the Mokka-e has a sophisticated control element like the Drive Select. This allows for eco, normal or sports drive characteristics and is easily adjusted with one fingertip. All told, the interior is an excellent demonstration of the cohesion you can expect from a premium European. Now, what's really interesting about the Opel is the fact that it seems to be designed specifically for New Zealand road conditions, and as a result you can take these corners quite quickly with rapid acceleration that only an electric car can provide, and you still maintain a huge amount of road control despite these constant judder bars that throw you off track or have the potential to do so. So basically it doesn't bounce around all over the place. It hits the bump, goes over it and then maintains its course, and that is a mark of absolute brilliance which only European cars can really pull off well. As the sun sets on our day with the Opel Mokka-e, it's actually a sunrise for the Opel brand in New Zealand, and this is the perfect little ambassador for that particular brand. What we have here is a city smart SUV with all the panache, style and sophistication. We just really can't say too much more about it, except that you really need to experience the Opel brand for yourself. So pop down to your nearest Opel dealer and ask about the Mokka-e. You won't be disappointed.